Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to RC Insiders. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about the Kobalt Quiet Tech air compressor. This is the 26 gallon model. The biggest question we've gotten on this unit, on this beautiful air compressor, is how's it doing now? So basically it's been a little over a year now since we did our initial review. By the way, if you want to check out all the particulars about the Kobalt Quiet Tech 26 gallon air compressor, I'll link directly to that review in the comments below and in the description. Basically, so far it is working just like new, like the day we got it a year ago. Our use with the air compressor, you probably couldn't compare it to, let's say, an actual shop where somebody's working in there every day. Basically, when I'm doing projects at home with this air compressor, I would call myself like a weekend warrior. So basically, say on a given weekend, it's getting about 4 to 6 hours of use, probably 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday. Basically still builds air just as fast as it ever did. One cool thing is nothing leaks yet. All of the fittings, I've had to do absolutely zero maintenance on the unit now for over a year. Usually by this time you get a lot of things leaking because air compressors rattle around a lot, they move around a lot, they're extremely loud. If you've worked around air compressors, you know, in your shop at your house, you normally have a lot of noise and a lot of moving around with the air compressor, so you get a lot of things that start to leak and break on them. The Kobalt Quiet Tech, it's a big unit, it's on wheels, easy to move around. Couple of my favorite things about the unit, you got your dual outlets here on the top. You got a really nice, easy to read display. Having the two outlets really does make a difference when you're working on stuff at the old barn. It does come with its own 3-year limited warranty. It is 150 max PSI. Like I said, 26 gallon tank, so it's a very large tank for, say, a home air compressor. Makes a big difference when you're running air tools, impact wrenches, air chisels, things like that, air wrenches. Makes a big difference having that big, large 26 gallon tank. It's rated CFM as 4.5 CFMs at 90 PSI. So basically what that does is it creates a lot of air quickly, allows you to have a lot more use out of your air tools than your say your normal smaller air compressor. All right, obviously the biggest thing that I like about it is the actual noise level. Like I said in the review, you know, every air compressor I've had in here basically rattles, wakes up the neighborhood every time you turn it on, shakes your windows, shakes your doors, you know, things start to break apart. Obviously I've added air hose reel here. Guys, if you use a lot of air, highly suggest you use this. If not, the compressor itself does have a hook right here on the front where you can wrap your air hose up, but having that air hose reel, guys, it makes a big difference. So obviously, like I said, the biggest thing is the noise level, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn that on so you guys can hear that it still sounds just like new. And after I turn it on, we'll listen to it for a second, guys, and then we'll run up the air pressure and we'll see how long it takes to hit that cutout point of 150 psi. Your on switch is right there on the side. Like I said, guys, I've done absolutely zero maintenance with this unit. So let's hear that run for a second, and then I'll time it and see how long it's taken us to get back up to 150 psi. So I'm still talking about like normal, guys. This is what I'm telling you about everybody asks, is it really that quiet? Well, here I am standing right next to the air compressor. There's nothing jumping around, my tools ain't falling off the walls, windows are not rattling. I can talk, have a normal conversation at like a normal decibel level with anybody standing right here next to me. The neighbors ain't yelling and throwing eggs at me and telling me to turn my darn air compressor off. So that's about how quiet Quiet Tech actually is. So give me just a minute here, guys. What I'll do, I know you don't want to sit here and listen to the air compressor run, but I'm timing it, and we'll see how long it takes to get back up to 150 psi. I believe it's like, I'll have to check the review, but I want to say it was like 3 or 4 minutes to reach full capacity of 150 psi. So I'll let that run for a minute, guys, and I'll come back here and we'll talk about how long it took to reach that full capacity, and then we'll wrap it up. Alright, I'll see you in just a minute, or maybe 3. Alright guys, so here we are, we're back. Just got our automatic cutout, 150 psi. So the air compressor cuts out at 150 psi by itself. The time from 0 to 150 psi on the large 26 gallon tank was just a little over 4 minutes. So a year later, still building right up to 150 psi with no problem. Like I said, guys, you got your tool pressure regulator right there. I normally run my air tools between 100 120 psi, but if you require more, you can go all the way up to 150 if that's what you want. You want to run 150 on your gun? Run 150 on your gun, because you can do it with this air compressor. Just as easy as that. Everything's nice and easy to read with this big, large, easy to read display right up here on the top. Like I said, guys, you can run all kinds of air tools with it. My favorite thing to hear is a big 1/2-inch impact gun. Has no problem running that gun. I can usually run a 1/2-inch impact gun for a solid 5 minutes before it gets back to down to I think the cut in is about 90 psi on here, so I can get about 5 minutes out of it till it'll hit that cut in, and then I can get another good 5 minutes out of it before we have to wait for a restart. But you know, when you're running an impact gun, you don't normally run it for more than 2 minutes, or you know, or so. If you're running it for 10 straight minutes, maybe you need a bigger tool. But anyway, guys, as far as having you know, looking for a nice quiet air compressor for, you know, around the house use, I suppose you could probably use it in a shop too if you're looking for something really quiet, but you don't want to spend a ton of money. I mean, this thing was, you can check some prices around, but you know, it was probably cheaper than my old gigantic, you know, super loud rattle trap air compressor that I had before. This is nice and pleasant, easy to work with. So if you're gonna get one for your garage, you want something nice and quiet, you've been scoping this thing out, guys, highly recommend it. Like I said, over a year later, still running like a top, still basically running like brand new. No complaints from me about the Kobalt Quiet Tech 26 gallon Quiet Tech air compressor, guys. It's been a great buy. You know, couldn't be happier with it. All right, guys, I hope you are enjoying summer. It's Michigan here. It'll be cold. It'll be so cold we won't want to be out here very soon. So enjoy your summer, guys, and until next time, happy bashing.